Yo, welcome to the Casual Flex and 247 Sports. I'm your host, Phillip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes D Scoop. And make sure you like and subscribe to the 247 Sports YouTube page and channel. And if you don't have a subscription to 247 Sports, you're missing stuff like this all of the time. So today I have a very special guest on the Casual Flex, somebody who's probably one of the hotter names in the nation right now when it comes to college football, and that's Mr. Prentice Air Noland of College Park, Georgia, the South Side for sure. Air, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How you been?
Good, man. So it's a crazy time right now. I mean,
Yep.
all eyes on you. But before we get into the obvious questions of what everybody wants to know before the big decision, let's get into who Air is. So, Prentice Air Noland. For those who don't know, how did you get the name Air?
My dad was named Air in high school, so he used to wear the Jordans and the calf sleeves like Michael Jordan. He was also like had a body fatigue the same as Michael Jordan. They used to call him Air, and that was his nickname in high school. So, and when I was born, he had a discussion with my mom, and he was like, I'm gonna name him Air. My mom was like, no, like why would we name him Air? But she actually ended up agreeing with it, and then it ended up being on my birth certificate, and it was my middle name, which is Air. So I'm
Wow.
blessed for that. Yep.
So, growing up, how was it having a name? Like, kids can be cruel, right? So,
Right.
how was it with your real name being Air? And were you always Air, or did you kind of grow in the air?
Honestly, I was always Air. Like people, of course, knew my first name, which was Prentice, but I was always Air. Like through the rec ball, football games, middle school, high school, people know me as Air. If you ask about me, they're gonna say Air. Most people don't say Prentice, but when I'm in the buildings and stuff and in class, they say Prentice a lot. But most of my football, friends and, coaches and things of that nature, they call me Air for the most part.
So, growing up on the South Side, like, you pretty much been that guy your whole life. Like, when you made the switch from baseball and you started playing football full time, how hard was it for you to make that transition into becoming a full time football player?
It was a little hard. Baseball actually got boring to me.
Okay.
And then basketball, the transition from basketball to football, full time football. Basketball, I still have love for basketball. So,
Okay.
that was kind of tough for me. And baseball I ended up stopping around like 8, 9, 10, kind of put the baseball down. I used to play pitcher and first baseman. And then basketball, I kind of played everything really for the most part. But basketball, giving it up, it was kind of hard, but I knew, what I wanted to do in life, and that was to be a quarterback. And had to keep the main thing, and thank God that I did.
So with me growing up on the South Side, like your dad had an impact on me when I was young. Like me looking up to the guys at on Tri City Squad when he was coming up. How was it having such a popular dad who's so involved in the youth circuit in Atlanta? He's basically a legend. For you to have to live up to his standard of what a good quarterback was or a good ball player was, and just a man as a whole, as a young man, how hard was it for you to grow up in his shadow, and what was the relationship like, and what did he tell you in order for you to be successful?
My dad raised me to be, very hardworking, very level headed and humble. So, the transition for me was like really easy because, him taking care of me and making me work hard at an early age, when I had just started putting on shoulder pads or, just started picking up a basketball, for me, I had already put in the work, in the house. Like I was doing push ups, sit ups with my big brother in the house, already working hard, at an early age. So, the transition for me was very easy, and when I see, competition in front of me or I have a chance to compete, I maximize the opportunity because I was raised well by, my dad. And, he just, he pushed me to my limits before anybody else could. So, somebody else pushing me to my limits is like, it's second nature to me now. So, my dad raised me to be a hardworking and live up to the expectations at all times. So for me, it was very easy. And then, me and his relationship, and I love my dad, man. Like he's taught me everything a dad could, teach you in his life. So, to have a great dad like that and a great mentor is very, a blessing for me.
Now, when it comes down to being a role model, like I was saying, how I looked up to him growing up, and my son, who's 9, Cam crazy about you. So it's
Yeah.
like the kids, when I see the kids around you, like on our side of town, like, what does it mean to you to see these children react to you and you be their hero? And you are now a hero. It wasn't that long ago. I was watching you when you were running around at the park. And
Yep.
now you're like a hero around here. Like, how big is that for you to be a role model? And what does it mean to you?
Oh man, like, coming from where I come from and, the youth coming from where I come from as well is like, it's big. You dream of things like this and you dream of people looking up to you, and, to have it, on a day-to-day basis is like, you know, you're somebody people look up to. So, you have to make sure you're on your P's and Q's at all time. But, it's always okay to ask those kids questions and, get to know them, from a standpoint when you meet them, because, you never know. You never know who you could be talking to, but you make a big impact. Coming from the South Side, me coming from the South Side makes a big impact on the kids out here. So I try to give back as much as possible. I try to give my piece of knowledge as much as possible, and just make sure everything's going well when I meet them, and just making sure everything is playing out the right way. But you know, these kids, on the South Side, we grind, and we know how it is, out here. So, I love it, and I thank God every day for him letting me be a big role model to the youth, and I just try to impact them on a day-to-day basis as much as possible.
So one thing that people may not know about you is that you're really involved in the community and doing community work. Can you
All right.
talk to us a little bit about your nonprofit and what you plan on doing with that in the future?
Yeah, so my nonprofit is Broken Crayon Still Colors.
Okay.
What I plan on doing with it in the future is really just giving back. Hosting charity events. Giving back to my community, and Broken Crayon Still Colors is just because you're broken doesn't mean you can't function. Doesn't mean you're a regular person. Doesn't mean you can't get out here and grind just like everybody else. So you could be a broken crayon. You could have been through a lot of adversity, but you can overcome a lot of adversity. So being a broken crayon doesn't mean you don't have color. So it's a lot of things that go into it, and I plan on maximizing that.
If Air Noland wasn't a football player, let's take sports out of it. If
All right.
Air Noland wasn't an athlete, what would Air Noland be? Or who would Air Noland be?
That's a good question. I think I would be a business owner
Okay.
or some type of like sports broadcaster, like podcast. I like doing things like that, but I think like a business owner or some type of podcast, sport broadcast, something like that.
Every time I've seen you since the day I met you, you've been cool as a cucumber. Like nothing has been too big. You ask questions way beyond your years. Everybody rants and raves about how mature you are. You're always cool under pressure. What scares Air Noland?
Nothing. I fear God.
I love it. I love it. Okay, let's go in here. Air Noland's top 5 quarterbacks. Not they don't not even current. Top 5 all-time quarterbacks.
Whew. Top 5 all time. I have to go Tom Brady, of course. You got to
Okay.
put Tom there. This is a good question. I say Steve Young.
Okay.
I got to go with a lefty.
Got to
Steve
Southpaw.
Young. Yeah. Uh, Ooh. Getting down to the nitty gritty. Mm. Uh, Michael Vick.
Got to go Vic. Another lefty.
Michael Vick. Uh,
2 more slots.
A-Rod.
A-Rod. Nice.
Aaron Rodgers.
1
And
more.
One more. Who can I throw in there? I'll go Pat Mahomes.
Nice.
Pat
Top
Mahomes.
five. I love it. I love it. Especially when you talk about like I like to pick a Pat Mahomes, right? You know, he does so much. And his game kind of reminds me of you because you do things with your legs that allow you to pass, but it's not
Right.
the end all be all, right? And you
Right.
saw how important that was in the playoffs last year and this most current Super Bowl run when he really couldn't run, but you know, he was still
Yep.
able to make all the plays and he was able to be dangerous.
Right.
So last year, the year before last, Langston Hughes comes up a little bit short in the state championship game. Everybody comes back, and a lot of people were like, it's state championship title or bust for Langston. What was that season like being under that type of pressure? And how was it to kind of just win with all eyes looking on you and the team that you guys had? How special was that?
Man, the season was very remarkable. Very unforgettable. You can't forget about a season like that. For us to go 15-0, it shows that everybody in the organization did their job. The coaches, recruiting staff, the players, of course, and just athletic trainers, everybody. Everybody played a hand in on that season. And people think we won just based off of talent. But we put a lot of hard work in, on and off the field. And for us to go 15-0 for the first time in school history, it was awesome. We pushed each other in practice. So in the game, it was like easy. It was very easy. In the game, it felt like we was playing lower the minimum compared to practice where you're playing like it's like you're playing a playoff snap or a playoff game every time we scrimmaged each other, but we pushed each other to the limit in practice. So the game was easy, but my Coach Drico, I would say he pushed me in practice, of course, but he pushed me on and off the field, and it made my job easier, of course, on Friday nights, but it made all the other 10 guys out on the field with me job easier as well. So that led to us winning the state championship and, going on to being the highest scoring team in Georgia football history. So, a lot of accolades came with it, but a lot of hard work was put into it as well.
Now that's amazing, and what it did for the community. I mean, you couldn't go nowhere over here, and folks wouldn't talk about Langston, right?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen anything like it ever. So for you guys to be able to pull that off, it was really big for the community. Now, speaking of community, you're not only a young quarterback, a student athlete, you're a brother. How has it been with you being a big brother and a little brother, just being that guy that, with your siblings? How's the interaction been with kind of just being a star when everybody sees you, but
Right.
when you go in the house, you're just air again?
Right. You know, of course, outside of, my household, I'm gonna be a star or whatnot, or, people are gonna look up to me, which is expected, with the things I've done. But, coming in the house as a big brother and as a little brother, I'm a regular person. Like, I tell my sisters, my older siblings and whatnot to treat me like a regular person at all times because, you can have everything going on in the world, but when you have family ties with, people that you really love and care for, at the end of the day, you're a regular person. People outside may see you as this star or whatnot, but coming in the house, I'm a regular person. I treat them how I want to be treated, and they treat me how they want to be treated. So, I make sure I teach them as much as possible, as much as I learn on a day-to-day basis. But also, I make sure I treat them the right way and love them every chance I get.
So with who you are, how hard has it been, like, just to be a regular son to your mom? We talked about you and your dad's relationship. What's been like the relationship with you and mom as you started to blow up?
Man, the more I've started to blow up, the more we started to communicate with each other more and more and more. So, with everything that's going on, right now, with football and, the accolades I'm getting and whatnot, my commitment day coming up, man, my mom has been the best mom and the best person I could count on a day-to-day basis. So, she's been with me through every step of the way since I was little to now. And, that's someone I could count on anytime and any given day. So, the more and more I live, the more and more our relationship grows and get better. So, I love her to death, and I can't thank her enough for putting up with what she's put up with me, the sacrifices she's made with all the flights and all the road trips and whatnot. But she's going through the process just as much as me.
All right, it's the time everybody wants to see. Everybody wants to know, where is Air Noland going to school? So instead of us, I got a little bit of an inkling. I ain't gonna say too much, but let's do this. Let's talk about your 5 top schools, right? And I'm gonna go with. Would I be wrong if I said that Texas A&M, Ohio State, Miami, Clemson, and Arkansas would be your top 5?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's start with Arkansas. What do you like about Arkansas, and what is the biggest impressive, I guess, thing that they do, or what do you like the most about Arkansas?
Arkansas has a great head coach. When you meet him, Coach Pittman, he's like meeting a grandfather, literally. Like
Right.
he's a regular person, a great human being. He's gonna welcome you with open arms. But me and his connection is great. He's been stopped by my school a couple times. Him and Coach Jimmy, and then the new hire that they got, Coach Enos. He's a great coach, great quarterback developed type of coach. Very down to ball, and knows his details and knows everything he needs to know as a quarterback coach and a play caller. So the coaching staff, speaks for itself. And then just Arkansas as a state, they're all in for the Hogs. That's all they love. There's no professional team out there, so everybody's in for the Hogs. And what stood out to me outside of football is the big corporation that they have. They're tied in with Walmart and even more companies and whatnot. So the big corporation that they have is like.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like when you get out there, it's like, okay, like Arkansas is not bad, but
Right.
seeing it for myself is it's better than I expected, I would say.
Okay. All right, same question. Miami.
Miami, it's like paradise. Going into that city and meeting the people. Outside of outside of Coach Cristobal, which are the recruiting staff, coaching staff, and whatnot, the players, they're all down to business, and that program is going to keep developing. Coach Cristobal has Miami on the right track as far as football and things outside of football. So I think Coach Cristobal is doing a great job. Me and him have a great relationship. He's a great great head coach, I feel like, and the new hire. They just got Coach Dawson. He came from the University of Houston, and he's been recruiting me for a while, even when he was at Houston, and ever since he's been at Miami. So Coach Dawson, he's a guy from Louisiana. He's a known coach. He's very very smart, I would say, and he's a great play caller. But Miami, you can't if you go to Miami, it's nothing you can't. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. There's nothing that you're not gonna get. So I would say Miami sticks out as well.
Okay. Ohio State.
Columbus, yes. Ohio State, and Coach Dennis, Coach Day, Coach Hartline, they're like a 3-headed snake, literally. Like,
Right.
they do a great job of recruiting. They do a great job of being authentic with you.
Right.
They do a great job of just making you feel comfortable around them. They Coach Day and Coach Dennis, of course they're great coaches when you talk about quarterbacks and getting the ball to different receivers at Ohio State, and just excelling the quarterback in the best way. So I think Coach Day and Coach Dennis is doing a great job at Ohio State, and with a quarterback orientated offense that they have, it's something that you want to look into coming in as a recruit. And they've been recruiting me actually for a good minute since October. But, I know that they end up offering me late, but a lot of people don't know they've been recruiting me, hard as well. But, Ohio State speaks for itself. You get to Columbus, they have a lot of business opportunity as well off the field. They have, this program I think called Fisher of Business or whatnot. So things to do with off the field at Ohio State is perfect, and of course on the field it speaks for itself.
How hard did Tank or Jelani Tank Thurman out of Langston use? How hard was Tank recruiting you?
Man, he's been blowing up my phone, man. Like Tank doesn't play, but me and him have that connection. Me and him have a great connection. We had that connection in high school, so I know he would love for me to be his quarterback. At the next level. So Tank has been recruiting me. Just like he's a head coach at Ohio State. Yeah, that's my guy. So I expected it of him. But yeah, man, he's doing great things at Ohio State as well. But I think me and his connection in high school could transition on to college. Who knows?
All right, so we already went to Ohio State. Let's go to Clemson.
Clemson, yeah, Clemson. When you get there, you could just tell it's something different about Clemson.
Right.
Like Coach Dabo Swinney, pitches it to players and uh, parents and whatnot. But when you get there, you see it for yourself. Like it's something different about Clemson, and just the people around Clemson are all in, like literally all in. So Clemson speaks for itself. Because Garrett Riley, the new OC they just got, he's a great coach. I got a chance to sit down, meet his wife, talk to his baby boys. Man, he's a he's all you want from an OC. And then I even got a chance to meet the president,
Oh
which was
wow.
the crazy part. Yeah, which was the crazy part. I got to meet the president at Clemson, and he was just he kept smiling and stuff. I was like, man, if people out here they're always happy and just all in, like I said. So it was a fun experience at Clemson. That was my first visit, and
Right.
I got a great impression, a great first impression on it, man.
All right. Last but not least, Texas A&M.
Yeah, A&M, Coach Jimbo Fisher, Coach Bobby Petrino,
Right.
Coach Damian Craig, they all do a great job, offensively, and they all do a great job, recruiting, of course. But A&M, I think it speaks for itself. A&M, they have a great program, and they have all the resources you need at A&M as far as on and off the field. I think it's in a great spot in America, which is Texas. That's a great state of its own, and I think Coach Jimbo Fisher, is leading A&M in the right way. His history speaks for itself. He's
Right.
done things with of course James Winston and more quarterbacks. Coach Damian Craig, played at Auburn.
Right.
Uh, he's a quarterback himself, and now the wide receiver coach at A&M. Then Coach Bob Petrino has coached great quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, you name it.
Right.
So, they all very experienced coaches, and that's what you need around you. So A&M, they're in right hands with Coach Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino and Coach Damian Craig.
When did you know where you were going to school, or do you even know yet?
I do know.
Okay.
I knew, and I knew that a few days ago. I would say.
Okay. All right. So, Eric, we're gonna do one word question and answer. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and you got to
Okay.
answer in one word.
Okay.
All right. Little baby or young boy?
Little baby.
Designer or tech suits?
That's a good question. Designer.
Ooh, okay.
Uh,
Favorite color?
Black. Can't go wrong with black.
If you had your pick of what number you will wear in college, what would it be?
One, of course.
Do long distance relationships work?
No.
Ooh, are you single?
Yes.
What color you wearing to prom?
Silver, black.
Greatest rapper of all time?
Oh, Tupac,
Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron,
Wow. LeBron or Kobe?
LeBron.
Is LeBron the greatest of all time?
Yes. Yes, most definitely.
Man, Aaron, man, it's been fun, man. I'm super proud of you, dog. Like, it's been a long ride. You deserve everything that you're getting. I can't wait till you make your announcement. Where are you making your announcement?
I'm making my announcement April 8th,
Okay.
Saturday. 2 days. 2 days away.
Okay. So, and who are you doing it with?
I'm doing it with 247.
Oh, okay.
247. Yeah, so Steve's been on me. Of
Right.
course, Duke's been on me about it. So man, yeah, doing it with
Right.
247. So y'all stay tuned for that one.
Nah, for sure, man. Aaron, man, it's been a pleasure, man. Hey, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Air Noland _.
All right, for sure. All right, Aaron, man. Much love, man. We'll see you on Saturday.
Appreciate you.